XCMG Paver RP603. General Introduction. XCMG Series 3 of medium and small pavers include RP453, RP453L, RP603, RP603L, RP803, and other models, with complete portfolio and high-end configuration for various construction conditions. RP603 paver is convenient, flexible, and economical. It installs hydraulic screed to fit road construction of frequent width change. It is applicable for asphalt surface paving and maintenance of various asphalt pavements of highways and rural roads. Operation of paver. Start of paver. Preparation before start. The following items should be carefully checked before starting the paver: engine oil level, hydraulic oil level, transfer case oil level, coolant level, gear reducer oil level. Turn on the main disconnect switch before starting the paver. Note: 1. In case of normal working, it is not allowed to turn off the switch, so as to avoid unnecessary losses, machine damage, and accidental personal injury, which may also cause generator damage due to overvoltage of the charger. 2. The switch must be disconnected to avoid the breakdown of electric circuit by induced voltage while welding and washing the paver. Starting of engine. Insert the key and turn the key switch to gear 2. The display will show the self-diagnosis page first, and then main interface. Before starting, confirm that the parameters displayed on the main interface are normal and there is no alarm information. Check the diesel level. All switches and control buttons must be set to 0 position or stop position. The direction knob should be in the neutral position. Set the speed knob to 0. Before starting, make sure there is no person or obstacles around the paver, and honk. Press the start button and do not hold the button for more than 10 seconds. The engine will be in idle position by default. If it fails to start, the starting interval should be more than 1 minute. If it fails to start twice, the root cause shall be found out before starting. After the engine starts, the oil pressure value will be displayed on the display screen. Otherwise, the diesel engine should be shut down immediately and checked. It is not allowed to restart until the problem is eliminated. After the engine is started, it should run at idle speed for a few minutes to ensure that the engine is fully lubricated, and then it can increase the throttle and start to work. Note: when the operator leaves the console while the engine is running, the main switch and speed potentiometer must be turned to 0. Pay attention to the working condition at all times. In case of emergency, press the E-stop button immediately. MID operation mode. When the mid switch is turned on and the throttle switch is turned on at the same time, the engine speed will jump to 1,500 rounds per minute, which is used to cleaning the conveying chain, scraper, distributing blade, and diesel spraying. Economic operation mode. When the eco switch is turned on, the engine speed jumps to 1,700 rounds per minute, which is used for light road construction. Max operation mode. When the max switch is turned on and the throttle switch is turned on at the same time, the engine speed will jump to 2,200 rounds per minute, which is used for full load construction. Engine flame out. Do not stop the engine suddenly when it is fully loaded, but remove the load of the engine first and set all switches and potentiometers at 0. Let the engine idle for about 2 minutes to balance the temperature. Keep pressing the stop button until the engine flame out. Turn the key switch to 0 position and pull out the key. The key can also be pulled out in P position. If the machine is in the slow position, it is necessary to prevent the machine from sliding. Driving a paver. Forward, backward. The console of the paver is movable, so it can be operated on the left or right side according to the paving conditions. Driving mode and paving mode can be selected by operating the drive pave switch on the instrument box. Note: pave mode is used for paving, and drive mode is used for transport. To switch modes, turn all switches to 0 position, especially the main switch, to ensure switching mode in stopping state. The drive direction is controlled by the main switch. The drive speed of paver is controlled by speed regulating potentiometer. 0 is the parking brake. At this time, the floating function of the screed is turned off, and the automatic leveling device is turned off. The automatic functions of tamer, auger, and conveyor will be closed. Gear 1 is forward, and Gear 2 is backward. At this time, the brake is released. Open the speed knob, and the screed is locked for a certain time, and then it will turn to floating state. Note: when the main switch is in position 2, the speed potentiometer must start from 0 to realize the backward function. The warning light must be turned on during the transition or construction at night. Steering. The paver can turn by operating the steering knob. The machine will turn to left, right by turning the knob to the left, right. The turning degree is proportional to the turning angle of knob. Note: turning signal must be turned on when making a large turn. Pivot steering. First, set the speed potentiometer at 0 position. Then, the steering potentiometer at 0 position. The main switch at position 1. Press the spin steering button, and then rotate the steering potentiometer in the corresponding direction according to the need, and the paver can realize the spin steering. Note: the steering potentiometer must be set to the 0 position first, otherwise the spin steering will not work. The rotation direction of the steering potentiometer determines the direction of pivot steering. The rotation angle of the steering potentiometer determines the speed of pivot steering, and the speed potentiometer no longer works in the process of pivot steering. The track shoe may be damaged when turning in situ. Please use it with caution. Screed up and down. Adjust the engine to the rated speed. Press and hold the lift switch up until the lift cylinders are fully retracted. Manually extend the arm support pin. Press and hold the lift switch down until the arm falls on the pin. This position is used for self-transfer of paver. Adjust the engine to the rated speed. Press and hold the lift switch upwards until the lift cylinder is fully retracted. Manually retract the arm support pin. Press and hold down the lift switch until the arm is on the ground or on the jacks. This position is used for paving, storage, and transportation of the paver. Screed lock. When the screed lock switch is turned on, the screed is in a locked state. At this time, the lifting, lowering, floating, unloading functions are disabled. The screed stays at the current position, and the prompt slogan will appear on the main page of the display. When the switch is turned down, the screed is unlocked. Note: it is forbidden to use this function for a long time for transition to avoid damage to the cylinder. Leveling. Left leveling switch. Press up. Left leveling cylinder goes up. Press down. Left leveling cylinder goes down. Right leveling switch. Press up. Right leveling cylinder goes up. Press down. Right leveling cylinder goes down. Function introduction of remote control box leveling button. Upper leveling button. Press and hold this button. The leveling cylinder rises. Lower leveling key. Press and hold this key to lower the leveling cylinder. Simultaneous mobile left and right leveling key. Press and hold this key. Press and hold the leveling up and down key at the same time, and the left and right leveling cylinders will rise or fall at the same time. Opening and closing of hopper. Press and hopper switch downward to open the hopper. Press the hopper switch upward to close the hopper. Feeding. Left feed forward switch. Middle position. The left conveyor belt is in a stopped state. Open to the left. The left conveying belt is in manual working state, and the speed of the conveying belt can be adjusted on the display screen by manually adjusting the ratio of the left conveying potentiometer from 0 to 100. Open to the right. The left conveyor belt is in automatic working state, and the start and stop of the conveyor belt at this position are controlled by the material level sensor. Left feed reverse button. Press this button and the left conveyor belt will convey in the reverse direction. The operation method of right conveying is the same as that of left conveying. Feeding reverse button on the remote control box. Press and hold this button and the feeding belt will run in reverse. Note: during normal feeding, do not touch the reverse button. If you need to use the feeding reverse, the press time for each key should not exceed 3 seconds. Distribution. Left distribution switch. Middle position. The left distribution lever is in a stopped state. Open to the left. The left distribution lever is in manual working state, and the speed of the distribution lever can be adjusted on the display screen by manually adjusting the ratio value of the left distribution potentiometer from 0 to 100. Open to the right. The left distribution rod is in automatic working state. In this position, the speed of the distribution rod is controlled by the material level sensor. The operation of the right distribution switch is the same as that of the left distribution switch. Remote control box automatic feeding and distributing button. Press this button, the button light flashes, and the feeding and distributing is in the automatic preparation state. Press the button again, the button light is always on, and the automatic feeding and distributing operation can be carried out at this time. Manual feeding and distributing button. Press and hold this button for emergency feeding and distributing of the paver. The feeding and distributing work at the fastest speed. Reverse feed button on the remote control box. Press this button, the feed screw will run in the reverse direction. Tamper. The tamper switch is in the middle position. The tamper beam is in stopping state. Tamper switch to left. Tamper is in manual working state, and the tamper speed can be adjusted on the display by manually adjusting the ratio of the tamper potentiometer 0 to 100. Tamper switch to right. Tamper is in automatic working state. The tamper function is controlled by the main switch, and the tamper speed is the same as manual. Note: the tamper beam is not allowed to work at the highest speed and frequency in the cold hydraulic oil state. First of all, ensure that the temperature of the hydraulic system meets the requirements. The tamper beam can only work in the paving gear. Extension and contraction of the screed. Left telescopic section screed switch. Press and hold the telescopic switch to the left, and the left screed will extend. Press and hold the telescopic switch to the right, and the left screed will retract. Right telescopic section screed switch. Press and hold the telescopic switch to the right, and the right screed will extend. Press and hold the telescopic switch to the left, and the right screed will retract. Remote control box button. Screed extension button. Press and hold this key to extend the screed. Screed retraction key. Press and hold this key to retract the screed. Electric heating. Adjust the engine to the rated speed. Turn on the heating switch upwards, and the screed will start to heat up. Toggle the heating switch down will turn off the electric heating. Note: the screed heating must be carried out when the engine is adjusted to the rated speed, maximum speed. The appropriate time for heating the screed is 20 to 30 minutes. Do not heat the whole process to avoid damaging electrical components such as generators and heating rods. Lights. When the light button is turned on, the indicator light, lighting lamp, and work light will also work. When the button is turned off, the indicator light, lighting, and work light will be turned off. Product maintenance. Engine. Check the oil level before starting the machine every day. The oil level must be between the high and low marks. If the oil level is only slightly above the lowest mark, add it in time. Check the engine oil level. Open the front hood of the paver. Pull out the oil dipstick. and wipe it clean, then reinsert it. Check the oil level after pulling it out again. Read the oil level. Reinsert the oil dipstick. Close the diesel engine cover. Engine oil replacement. The first oil change is within 50 to 100 hours of work, and every 400 hours thereafter. Drainage of engine oil. It is best to let the paver idle for 10 minutes before changing the oil. Stop the engine and remove the start key. Open the left side cover and unscrew the pipe clamp screw. Unscrew the screw plug of the oil pipe and drain the oil. Dispose the waste oil according to environmental protection requirements. Note: wear protective equipment to prevent burns. Prepare a container with enough capacity to receive the waste oil. Check the oil pipe to prevent confusion with the transfer case oil drain pipe. Engine oil addition. After confirming that no waste oil flows out of the oil drain pipe, tighten the screw plug of the oil drain pipe. Unscrew the fuel filter opening. Use the funnel in the accessories to add oil. The amount of addition can refer to the relevant data in the manual table. Tighten the fuel tank cap. After the engine runs briefly and cools down, check the oil level and increase or decrease the oil according to the actual situation. In order to ensure the normal operation of the machine, please be sure to add high-quality engine oil that meets API CH4. Engine oil filter replacement. When changing the oil filter must also be replaced. Clean the dirt around the oil filter seat. Remove the spin-on oil filter. Clean the O-ring sealing surface of the filter seat. Note: if the O-ring seal is attached to the sealing surface of the filter seat, be sure to remove it. Note: before installing the oil filter, fill the inner cavity with clean oil and apply a thin layer of clean engine oil on the sealing surface of the sealing ring. Install a new oil filter. Note: over-tightening the filter can cause thread deformation or damage the sealing ring. Fuel system. Note: the fuel system can only be maintained when the engine is cooled and shut down. In order to ensure the normal operation of the machine, please be sure to fill the specified clean diesel oil. Please refer to the oil table in the instruction manual. Drain water from oil-water separator. Start the engine and remove the start key. Open the maintenance door behind the hopper. Place a medium-sized container under the oil-water separator. Open the drain screw to drain the water in the sink. Pay attention to the discharge situation. Once you find that the oil is draining, tighten the drain screw immediately. Dispose of spilled liquid in accordance with the environmental protection requirements. Start the engine and check if the system leaks. Replacement of oil-water separator. Place a moderately sized container under the oil-water separator. Use a belt wrench to remove the filter. Spread a little diesel engine on the sealing ring of the new filter. Reinstall the filter. Wipe out the leaked diesel. Note: after the filter is replaced, exhaust treatment must be carried out. Secondary filter replacement. Stop the machine and remove the start key. Open the engine rear cover. Use a belt wrench to remove the filter. Spread a little diesel oil on the new filter. Tighten the filter by hand. Tighten the filter with a belt wrench about 10 nanometers. Wipe out the leaked diesel. Dispose of spilled liquid in accordance with environmental protection requirements. Note: after the filter is replaced, exhaust treatment must be carried out. Exhaust method should be carried out strictly in accordance with the engine's maintenance manual. Intake system. Maintenance and filter replacement work should be carried out after the equipment is stopped. Air filter cleaning. Open the clap. Take out the filter element. Gently wipe the inner surface of the filter element with a damp cloth. Use compressed air to blow the filter element out from the center of the filter element. Note: it is strictly forbidden to clean the filter element with gasoline or other cleaning agents. If the working environment is windy and sandy, it is recommended to clean it frequently. Cooling system. Note: if there is pressure or high temperature fluid in the cooler, do not open any pipe joints. It is strictly forbidden to reach into the fan guard. The protective cover must be removed after the fan stops rotating and the diesel engine is turned off. Filling of coolant. Check and replenish the coolant as required. The quantity is listed in the maintenance table. Maintenance of cooling system. The cooling system does not require separate maintenance, but when working in a heavily polluted environment, it is necessary to clean up the debris on the surface of the radiator in time, and take care to prevent bumps during the cleaning process. Warning: failure to clean the cooler in time will cause the cooling capacity to decrease, and even the engine will overheat. Air channel cleaning. Compressed air or water should be used to clean the air channel, and the direction of air or water flow should be parallel to the direction of the fans to avoid damage to the fans. You can also use some suitable cleaning agents to clean the channels. The cleaning effect will be better, but you cannot use detergents that are corrosive to aluminum. Grease stirred can be cleaned with hot water or steam. Transfer case and pump. Draining the transfer case. Gear oil discharge. The engine is idling for 3 minutes. Turn off the diesel engine and remove the start key. Open the left side cover and unscrew the pipe clamp screw. Unscrew the screw plug of the oil pipe and drain the gear oil. Note: wear protective equipment to prevent burns. Prepare a container with enough capacity to receive the used gear oil. Check the oil pipe to prevent confusion with the engine oil drain pipe. Addition of transfer case gear oil. Addition of gear oil. Confirm that no waste oil is drained from the drain pipe. Tighten the oil drain pipe plug. Unscrew the fuel filter vent plug. Use the funnel in the attachment to add oil. Tighten the vent plug. Run engine for a short time. Check the gear oil level. Increase or decrease the gear oil according to the actual situation. See the instruction manual for the amount of gear oil added. Note: normally, the oil level should reach the upper middle of the 2 bars of the oil dipstick. The oil change can only be done when the transfer case is at working temperature or the paver is idling for 3 minutes. At the same time, the oil-draining magnetic fastening screws must be kept clean, and the oil must be changed for the first time after 250 working hours. And then the oil will be changed every 500 hours according to the maintenance table. See the instruction manual for details. When installing a new pump, the spline shaft must be lubricated with the lubricating oil for the transfer case. Refer to the instruction manual for details. Grease and other brands of lubricating oil are prohibited. Hydraulic system. Oil change. Drain hydraulic oil. This work must be carried out after the equipment has been running for a period of time, and the engine has been running for at least 3 minutes. The oil drain valve is located at the bottom of the hydraulic oil tank, on the left side of the walking direction of the paver. Open the left side cover, loosen the oil valve, and connect the oil drain hose. Prepare a suitable container for the waste oil. Put the oil drain hose into the oil container. Loosen the oil valve. Drain the oil thoroughly. Dispose of waste oil according to environmental protection requirements. Fill hydraulic oil. The level gauge is installed on the hydraulic oil tank and can be seen after opening the left cover. Add hydraulic oil to the hydraulic oil tank and add it to more than half of the oil level scale of the liquid level gauge. Close the fuel filter cap. Start the paver and preheat it to working temperature to fully extend the air. Turn off the engine. Refueling is complete. Replacement of suction and return filter. The filter should be replaced for the first time after 250 hours of operation, and the second time after 500 hours. After that, the filter should be replaced every 1000 hours. The hydraulic oil filter of the whole vehicle must be replaced at the same time every time the hydraulic oil is changed. The oil suction and return oil filter is equipped with pressure alarms. If the display shows an oil return pressure alarm, please replace the oil return filter in time. After the replacement is completed, start the engine and check the oil position of the hydraulic oil tank. If it is lower than the lowest position, please add it in time. Replacement of suction and return filter. Use the wrench in the toolbox to remove the 4 bolts on the top of the suction and return filter. Pull out the oil return filter element and replace it with a new one. Note: it is forbidden to start the engine during the filter element replacement process. Electrical system. Risk of electric shock. The cables and components are electrified, which may cause fatal injuries. When maintaining the electrical system, strictly observe the following instructions. The electrical system can only be maintained when the engine is off. Turn off the engine and power off the paver before starting to maintain the electrical system. It is forbidden to spray liquid into the low voltage power distribution cabinet and junction box. Note: before welding operation, disconnect the main power supply and unplug the controller. Replace the fuse with the same specification immediately after it is damaged. It is strictly forbidden to repair or overlap the fuse. In severe cases, it may cause damage to the components or catch fire. If the fuse is always blown, the cause must be checked by a qualified technician. battery maintenance. The battery must be clean and dry. The machine is equipped with maintenance-free batteries, and their tightening status should be checked frequently to prevent loosening. The battery is equipped with operation hole, which can understand the status through color indication. Green means good, black means charging, and white means replacement. Clean the battery electrodes and terminals, and use non-acid, acid-resistant grease or Vaseline for lubrication to achieve anti-oxidation. Check the tightness of electrode clamp or terminal fastener and tighten it if necessary. Driving system. Check the reducer for oil leakage and abnormal sound every day. Check the fastening condition of the connecting bolts between the crawler beam body and the connecting frame and the frame every day, and tighten them immediately in case of looseness. Replace the gear oil according to the maintenance table. Refer to the operation manual for details. Check if any of the supporting rollers are not rotating and whether the supporting rollers are hot. If there is any problem, please troubleshoot or replace it. After the paving operation, promptly remove the stones and asphalt materials mixed between the track rubber plates. Before paving, observe the movable pins of the track chain track to check whether there is any looseness. If the movable pins are found to come out, the pins should be knocked into the chain track immediately to eliminate the fault. Draining and filling of gear oil. Only drain oil without refueling steps. The paver runs for 10 minutes or more. Fine-tune the position of the drain plug to make it at the highest position. Screw on the reducer special oil pipe. Fine-tune the position of the oil drain plug to make it at the lowest position. Drain gear oil and use a container to collect waste oil to avoid pollution to the environment. Note: the left and right sides need to be maintained at the same time. Conveying system. Conveyor belt tension. The chain is loosened and tightened by adjusting the forward tightening screws on the front lower baffle. Loosen the outer nut. Adjust the inner nut and pull the tightening screw. The driven shaft moves forward to increase the tension of the conveyor belt. Tighten the outer nut. Note: the two screws of the same conveyor belt must be evenly tensioned at the same time to prevent the conveyor belt from tilting and twisting. Observe the tightness of the drive chain at the conveyor belt during the regular construction process. Worn chain and sprocket should be replaced at the same time. Conveyor drive chain. Chain tension. Loosen the bolts at the oblong hole. Adjust the tension bolt to move the reducer upward. Adjust the tightness of the chain to 5 to 7 millimeters. Tighten the 4 bolts. Apply an appropriate amount of grease to the chain. Note: replace faulty or damaged chains in time. The chain and sprocket should be replaced at the same time. Otherwise, it will cause excessive wear of the new chain. The chain should be cleaned with kerosene regularly, according to the pollution situation, to remove the dust and sand contaminated on the chain. When using the machine in dusty areas, use engine oil to lubricate the chain. Oil change of conveying reducer. The oil change of the conveying reducer is carried out in accordance with the maintenance table. Refer to the instruction manual. When draining or adding gear oil, the paver should warm up. Drain gear oil. Open the vane plug. Prepare a suitable container for the waste gear oil. Remove the oil drain plug and drain the waste oil completely. Tighten the oil drain plug. Add gear oil. Use a funnel to add gear oil. During the process of filling gear oil, pay attention to observe the oil level through the side glass. Stop refueling when oil level reaches the middle of the oil side glass. Tighten the vane plug. Wipe the reducer clean. Distribution system. Drive chain. Material distribution chain maintenance. Remove the cover. Apply grease to the left and right chains, respectively. Slowly rotate the left and right distribution rods to evenly spread the grease to the entire chain. Install the cover. Note: be careful not to entangle your sleeves with the chain. Chain tension. When the working hours of the machine reach 50 hours, check the tightness of the drive chain. Loosen 4 fastening bolts. Adjust the tension bolt to move the entire drive mechanism upward, and adjust the chain tightness to the lateral swing amplitude of 5 to 7 millimeters. Tighten the bolts. Reducer oil change. The first oil change is carried out in 250 hours. Before the oil change, the paver works for 3 minutes, or after the paving operation. Drain gear oil. Open the vane plug. Prepare a suitable container for the waste gear oil. Remove the oil drain plug and drain the waste oil completely. Tighten the oil drain plug. Add gear oil. Use a funnel to add gear oil. During the process of filling gear oil, pay attention to observe the oil level through the side glass. Stop refueling when the oil level reaches the middle of the oil side glass. Tighten the vane plug. Wipe the reducer clean. Centralized lubrication system. Check the lubricant stock before construction to avoid the lack of grease in the centralized lubrication device. Check the lubrication points regularly and observe whether the lubrication points are normal. Check the fastening of the joints. If oil leakage or oil leakage is found, fasten or replace the joints in time. Check the lubrication hose for damage such as bulging, corrosion, abrasion marks, pressure marks, etc., and replace it immediately if any. During the process of filling grease, make sure that the grease and the filling port are clean. The grease must be a product of a well-known manufacturer, and it is recommended to use brands such as Conveying, Great Wall, Mobile, and Shell. The grades of grease added should meet the requirements of Table 5 to 9 in the instruction manual. It is strictly forbidden to use grease containing additives such as molybdenum disulfide. If there is a problem with the lubrication pump that cannot be repaired in time, the lubrication point should be manually refueled once a day.